parting gift that you left for your teacher? My mom told me we were moving halfway through junior year. Different city, different school, completely out of nowhere. And the second she said, "You'll probably never see these teachers again," something in my brain just disconnected. I didn't get sad. I got creative. Monday morning, I walked into school acting normal, but internally, I had already decided my final week was going to feel like a live event. I started small. Tiny psychological warfare. I changed my teacher contact names in my phone to stuff like federal agent and debt collector, then accidentally projected my notifications during a presentation. My math teacher saw debt collector calling again pop up on the board and looked genuinely concerned for me. Tuesday, I brought one of those giant metal water bottles that sound like a church bell when they hit the floor. Every single time class got quiet, I'd accidentally knock it over. Bong! Entire classroom jumped every time. By Wednesday, the teachers were already exhausted. They'd see me walk in and immediately sigh like they were about to start a boss battle. But Thursday was where I stopped acting human. First period was chemistry. Dead silent classroom. Quiz day. Everybody stressed. I waited until the teacher started explaining the rules, then slowly unzipped my backpack and pulled out a full breakfast. Not a snack. A breakfast. Plate, fork, pancakes wrapped in foil, little syrup container. One guy whispered, "No way." I started cutting pancakes like I was at a five-star restaurant. My teacher just stared at me and said, "What exactly are you doing?" And I looked confused and went, "Eating before my test? Brain fuel?" She told me to put it away, so I pulled out a tiny candle. Not lit, just placed it beside the pancakes for atmosphere. The class completely lost it. She sent me to the office before I even touched the quiz. The principal gave me this whole speech about maturity and setting examples, which honestly would have hit harder if he wasn't wearing a tie with little basketballs on it. Then came my final class ever at that school, English. And this teacher already hated me. Not because I was failing, I actually had an A, but because I never acted serious for more than 8 consecutive seconds. I walked in late carrying flowers. The entire class went silent. I walked right up to her desk, handed her the flowers and said, "I just wanted to apologize for my behavior this year. You made a real impact on me." She actually softened for a second, like genuinely emotional. Then she noticed the card attached to the flowers. It said, "Sorry for your loss." Her face changed immediately. The class exploded. One girl literally wheezed herself into a coughing fit. The teacher pointed at the door and said, "Get out!" But at this point, I was committed to the performance. So I nodded respectfully, picked up my backpack and said, "Thank you for everything. You were like a mother to me. A very mean mother." That somehow made it worse. I got to the doorway, paused dramatically, then turned around and hit them with one final thing. I said, "Before I leave, I just want everyone to know the homework answers are hidden inside chapter 12. Absolute chaos." People started flipping pages immediately. The teacher started yelling. And while everybody was distracted, I walked out like a supervillain exiting an exploding building. The best part, there were no answers in chapter 12, just a sticky note I'd planted earlier that said, "My final lesson, never trust me."